Hello, this is a recording to show you how to use Clio in the cloud to make requests for mediated interlibrary loan items from the Massachusetts Library Systems Resource Sharing Team. I'm using Chrome, but you can use a variety of different browsers. What you want to do is bookmark the following website, www.cliowebhost.com/masslibs, MASSLIBS. And it brings you up this login page with the logo of the MLS on it. And what you're going to do is put in your library card number. For the sake of privacy, I'm going to mute the number and blur it so no one can see exactly what number I'm putting in. I'm just using the login for Aquina as an example. So it logs you in, and from this point you can make requests, you can view requests that you have going at the moment, you can edit the library information. So if you click on Make Requests, it's going to bring you up a request form that is very similar to the ones that Wellesley had been using in the past and Quincy had been using. It has your library information, your email, your address, and the contact person. If we are wrong with any of this, please contact us because we intend to use this for making requests. And then you've got the information for the actual request. Suppose that you wanted to check with worldcat.org. You can do that if you want. You just would open up another browser and go to worldcat.org, and you can find the item that your patron wants and cut and paste the information into the request form. I find that it searches better if you click on Advanced Search. It brings you up kind of a nicer search box. So right now I'm looking for something about the Tiffany girls. I can't remember the exact title, but it had to do with women who worked in the Tiffany studios. So I think the woman's name was Clara, who was involved in this too. So if I just put in Clara and Tiffany girls, let's see what I find. Oh, this is exactly the one I want. A New Light on Tiffany, Clara Driscoll and the Tiffany Girls. So I'm going to pull that up. This is a book about a woman who ran the women's art glass department in Tiffany Studios. And if a novel, Clara and Mr. Tiffany is to be believed, was very influential in creating Tiffany glass lamps. So I'm just curious to see a nonfiction book about this and see how much of this is true. So I'm just going to cut and paste the title into my request form, and the same with the author. Let's see, here we go. And just copy that into the request form. A complete citation is always nice, but if you have this much information and then either the ISBN or the OCLC number, that really would suffice. Down here, we've got multiple ISBNs and we've got the OCLC number. You don't have to be completely compulsive and put in everything as long as you've got sufficient information that we can find what you're actually after. Let's just throw in the date as well. Where is the date? Let's see. 2007. Well, I'm not sure. It was published on the occasion of an exhibit held in 2007, but I'm not sure if it itself was published in 2007. So let's leave that alone. And patron name. Patron name is no longer a required field. If you want to put in the actual patron's name, you can do that. A lot of libraries like that because they like the convenience of being able to look up and see who the patron is on their list of Clio items. Other places are more concerned about patron privacy and would rather not put in an actual name. Sometimes people prefer to put in the name of the library as the patron name, or perhaps a card number or some kind of a code. Whatever you would prefer to put in is fine. I've made it a non-required field so you don't actually have to put in a real name. If you do choose to put in a name, OCLC has changed things, so now the name will only display to the requesting library and to the ILL staff at the MLS. It used to be visible to all of the lenders as well, and that is no longer going to be true. As of May 19th, which is when OCLC is switching their system from WorldCat Resource Sharing to WorldShare Interlibrary Loan. So after that date, your patron name will be more private than it is now if you choose to put it in. So let's have this be Sue Fake. If you have any particular notes, that's always helpful, like must include CD if there was such a thing. I don't think this particular book has one, but anything like that that's crucial would be helpful to us. We want to know the format, especially if it's not a book. In this case, it is a book, but if it's something other than a book, we absolutely need to know that. We need to know the highest fee you're willing to accept. People have asked me whether or not we can guarantee that we're getting something for free. It's very hard to tell, but if you look at worldcat.org, you can kind of guess. This particular worldcat.org record says it's displaying 1 through 6 libraries out of 197 libraries for all 3 editions. If you click over here, in this hidden spot, it says just this edition. Click on that because truthfully you want the edition that you want. And that didn't reduce the number of libraries by many. There's still 194 libraries that own this. And you can see there's a goodly number in Massachusetts, let alone in the region. If you click on some of these other screens, you can see there's lots of libraries in the United States that own this. Under these circumstances, we are going to be able to get this for free. If there's hundreds of libraries, we're going to be able to get it for free. You don't even need to discuss money with your patron. If there's dozens of libraries, and especially if most of them are your bigger libraries, your Browns, your Dartmouths, your Harvards, then money might come into it. And we're going to want to know whether or not you're willing to pay. So in this case, I would be perfectly safe saying that we wanted this request for free, and I would be pretty sure that we'd be able to get it. If you put in a fee here, we will still try the free places first. So it may indeed be a free loan. But if you choose to put in that you're willing to pay up to $10, then we will go that far. We won't stop just at the free places. The way that the MLS handles items where there's a charge, we use a system called Interlibrary Loan Fee Management, and that allows us to pay the lender right away from our OCLC account and then create an invoice for your library asking for reimbursement, either from the library or from the patron. The furthest delivery is the next thing we want to know. Are you limiting yourself to only libraries on delivery in Massachusetts? Are you okay with libraries in the lower 48? Or are you willing to go even further? So in this case, we'll say U.S. libraries, and then if you were to click on Submit a New Request, it would go ahead and make the request. I'm going to log out as Aquina and log in again as Wellesley because I want to show you a library that has more requests going. and Aquina hasn't been using this Clio in the cloud system yet, so there aren't really any requests there to play with. So this is Wellesley's login, and if you looked at Wellesley, you could look at all of your recent requests. You can look at recent requests with the most recent first, so that you can see what's going on with your borrowing life in Clio in the cloud. And you can see what's up with various and sundry different requests that you've got going. There's also a place here for editing your library info. If we're wrong on something, who is the person that needs to be contacted and so on, you can change it here, although we would also appreciate knowing that from you. So making a request is pretty simple. You log in to a new and different URL than what you're used to, but you use your same 2999 number that you always used with Quincy. You use ILL in lowercase, just like always, and the form is really quite similar to the one that Quincy was using all along, or Wellesley was using all along. So there shouldn't be any huge problems. If you have questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you. Since I recorded this video, the Perkinses, who are the people who make Clio, have put an improvement in for us. So I'm going to show you another copy of the new request form and show you a new field that has just been placed in the form. Down here you have patron email. It's an optional field, but if you choose to put in a patron email, you can use that later on in order to send a message to your patron if you so desire. It's completely optional. It's completely hidden. The only people that would see it would be yourself and the MLS staff. It's not going to be visible to lenders, and it's completely optional. But if you choose, you can put in a patron email, and later on, when you're doing updating, you could send messages to your patron from within Clio if that would be helpful to you. Thank you.